I hope you can understand. So you see, saying like there was a straight line, I still have to adjust degree by degree, you know, the track on the route. So the magnetic variation is applied in the simulator, which is fantastic. Ding ding ding. Right, update on the weather. Still fairly similar. Huh? It's 330 at 12. That's varying from 280 to 360. 5 kilometers, dust, no significant cloud, 37 degrees. Still QNH 996, no sick. We still have 4 arrivals within 5 minutes of each other. So that's quite cool. Hopefully he's gonna be back. Who knows? So Bolo is the last point before we get into Muscat at Kital, and we'll come out of the ETOPS in about 60 miles. So it's gone well. If we look at the overhead panel, it's actually a fairly nice panel, and it's quite easy to operate in a sense. Most of the switches are in the kind of on or auto position, and basically you don't want to see any lights. Anything that is not switched on properly would come on the ICAS here on top of the top right of the upper display there. But yeah, if let's play around. If we switch off the demand pump, probably gonna get an ICAS. But we can see that this is not in the proper position because we've got the fault light. Yeah, here's the ICAS. So we've got ICAS, hydraulic pressure, demand left. So when we've got this little square here next to the ICAS item, that means there's an actual procedure, there's an actual action to be done. It's not just to read the checklist and be aware of the situation. So if we jump back into the checklist quickly, we know the problem is just because I switched it off, and the aircraft can fly, no problem at all. So if we look at the checklist again, hold on. Zoom in a little bit. Look, too far. The condition, the demand pump output pressure is low when commanded on. The left leg demand pump selector on. And if we put it on, yeah, obviously it's gonna disappear. And then the message stays shown, yes or no. If we put it back to auto, the message is gonna disappear. So we'll put obviously no, and then that will be the end of the checklist. Basically, if you get any lights, that will mean that the switch is not in the correct position. So we'll put this one back on. For example, if we switch this one off, the left engine bleed switch, obviously it's gonna show us off here. So it's not a problem in itself because the right engine is feeding the two packs, and we're gonna get the gas message again. Bleed off engine left. So if we jump back into the checklist, and this time there's no little square. So let's have a look. Air systems, bleed off, and bleed off engine left. So condition, one of the following occurs. The engine bleed valve is closed because of a system fault, or the engine bleed switch is off. And that's the checklist complete. So yeah, obviously the switch is off, so that's why we have the problem. So if it was a system fault, then there will be basically nothing we can do. We just leave it the way it is, and there's no actual action. If the switch is off, obviously it kind of makes sense to put it back on. But if it was an actual bleed valve system fault, then you would leave the switch the way it is. We'll go back to the reset menu, reset non-normal, and close the checklist. Well, the checklist display is. Yeah, that's it really. So yeah, the override panel basically is that what they call the moonlight system or something like that. Whatever. Basically, all the switches need to kind of be on or auto. See, on this side it's all on, auto, on, auto, on, auto. That's on. The fuel pumps obviously on. These don't need to be on because there's no fuel in the center tanks. That's on. These are normal, the engine EEC mode. We don't really play with these too much because the EEC they are fairly reliable. The system is fairly good. Doesn't really break. The starter is only to start the engines, obviously, so it's on the normal position, obviously. All the cargo fire up here as well, they are out. If you press on the button there, you arm the fire extinguishers and stuff. And then if you lift that and press, then you discharge the bottles, so you're not gonna do that. And then yeah, on this side as well, it's auto, on, auto, on, auto, auto, and on, auto, this one. So it's fairly easy, I mean, and if something is not in the correct position, as we saw, then the light would come on. Very good. So we've just passed the 420 nautical mile ring going towards Muscat. So we left the ETOPS segment behind. All good, still showing ETA without the arrival programmed in the FMC, but at the moment still showing 1439 Zulu arrival with 9.8 tons of fuel. The fuel will be obviously a little bit less on touchdown, but we'll see with the timing as well. If we set the whole arrival, I think it would add up a few minutes, but I'm hoping for a straight in, so we'll see how it goes. I sincerely hope that we're gonna get ATC on arrival. He was on earlier on, but hopefully he'll come back. We'll see. As previously mentioned, we have oh no, these guys have been delayed. Actually, now I'm the first one expected. I was number 3 expected. There was 4 arrivals within 5 minutes. Now it's 4 arrivals within 6 minutes. So it's the guys that are being a little bit delayed, going towards Dubai. So I should be able to squeeze in first. It looks like it. Okay. So maybe we can do a straight in. We'll see how it works out. The joys. So, let's see. Oh, the aircraft is actually recommending 340. If we go, we can step to 360 now because the max is 369, so we can climb to flight level 360. That's not a problem. However, the computer is recommending 340. The optimum is flight level 359. So the difference between the recommended and the optimum, basically the recommended takes into account the forecast wind, which is entered in the computer there. We've got all the winds here. So it takes into account the wind for the next 500 miles. And takes basically into account all the conditions. The optimum level there doesn't take into account the winds and stuff. So it just basically is the ideal level for the fuel consumption at the aircraft at any stage of flight. But if there was no wind at flight level 360, then obviously and a little bit more wind at flight level 340, then the computer is going to recommend 340. So let's see if, because earlier on they wanted to go up to 36. If we go on the step there, if we go 0, it's going to get rid of the step prompt. It's going to give us a new ETA and a new fuel. So 39 and 96, and if we come back to RVSM step, $39 and 9.7. So if we climb to 360, we kind of gain 100 kilos of fuel. So that's a consideration. But yeah, I was kind of tempted to go up to 36 actually. So we'll go up to 36. So we'll set 36, press the Alt, the altitude intervention button there, or well, kind of press the altitude button, and the cruise altitude there changes to 360. We've got a Nikon cruise climb, and up we go. So maybe we're gonna. So it's interesting that I still recommend 340, because if you set 360, it was a little bit slightly more efficient on the fuel. But as I said, the recommended only calculates 500 miles ahead, and we have a little bit more than 500 miles to run plus the arrival. So the computer probably thinks that it's better. Anyway, still shows a step there, but 380, but it says at none, so we're not going to be able to go up to 380 at any stage. It will be we'll have to descend before we can, or we would be able to go up to 380. So we're just about leveling off at 360. I got speed VNAV path. So like I pointed out, or like I point out actually on a regular basis, it's fairly important to be aware of the flight mode annunciator modes, the FMA modes here. The status of the FMA. So the left box here is for the auto throttle. So the auto throttle maintains the speed of the aircraft. The middle box there is for the lateral navigation. So at the moment it's AirNav. So the lateral navigation by the FMC. And the box here on the right hand side is for the pitch of the aircraft. So at the moment it's kind of maintaining the path, the VNAV path, so it's maintaining level 360. During the climb we saw we had from 340 to 360 we had VNAV speed. So the pitch of the aircraft was determined by the speed. So it went full blast on the engines, and then the aircraft was trying to maintain the scheduled speed. So because we had excess thrust here with the engines at max power, the aircraft had to pitch up. So the speed will be determined by the pitch of the aircraft. Also, if you go around here, you would have toga. If you go around, you would have thrust AirNav toga, and the toga there would be also like a function of the pitch of the aircraft. So 518 miles to run, plus the arrival. I remind you that the arrival is not in. That's the start of the star of the arrival. We still have to set the whole arrival. The arrival is for those of you who are familiar with Dubai. The arrival is some sort of like trombone, so it kind of adds quite a bit of distance to the flight. It's possibly at least 70 miles extra, but it looks like I'm gonna be why is it flashing? Looks like I'm gonna be number one, so I'll probably give myself a shortcut, and depending on the ATC situation there. la la. It's the top of descent 1418. So at this stage we can start. We are about 40 minutes from top of descent, so we can slowly start having a look at the arrival. At the moment there's still no ATC, just the ground controller, but that's not really gonna help us for the arrival sequence. Well, actually one of the inbound aircraft and that group of 4 is actually dropped. We'll see if he comes back at some point, but at the moment he's not there anymore. Now we've got a 3-minute delay on the second arrival. Still showing a number 1 in that group, so that's good. There's no update on the weather, so that's alright. So the first thing we'll do is check the recall. No, why did I go down here? Yeah, I'll check the recall. There's nothing there. Check the notes. So for the notes we'll go to the checklist should sequence to the descent, and if there were any notes they would appear here, but there's no notes. That's good, the descent checklist can remain displayed. Then in the FMC I'll go to departure arrival. It's Dubai arrivals, Bubin 8 Charlie. We'll say we'll fly the RNAV, so we'll go RNAV 30 left, yeah, all dot to execute. After that, hello Royals Freak 81, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. So after that we'll go to the, how are you doing today, sir? Hope you're good. You're having fun on Twitch. So then the arrival, we'll check with the chart. We've got Bubin, Gurmi, 230 knots, 11,000 feet or below. That's correct. And we've got the Delta Bravo 518. So actually what I'll do is I'll set the plan mode and run through the points to reduce the range. From Bubin to Gurmi, 230 knots and 11,000 feet or below. Gurmi, Delta Bravo 518, Delta Bravo 517, Wooton, Delta Bravo 515, 210 knots, that's correct. 514, so you can see what I was talking about, the trombone. You're coming this way, you go here, you come back, and then you're right there. So depending on the ATC situation, now probably a shortcut from Gurmi here down to Uldot. I might be a little bit high on the profile, but I'll manage. Otherwise, if we do the whole arrival, it would be 515, 514, 513. Correct. Gergo, Velar, 509, 508, 185 knots, that's correct. Bravo 507, 506. It's a long winded arrival. 505, 4. Uldot, 185, 2000 feet above. Setpo, 185, 2000 feet above as well, as correct. And then the Delta Bravo 713. So we'll use that point here. Selecting the fixed page, set a 2-mile ring on it. So as we are approaching this point in the 2-mile ring, then we'll make sure we've got the MDA set and the MCP there in the altitude window. We'll make sure we've got VNAV path annunciated on the PFD and the speed intervention with the speed window open here. And then after that we'll drop the gear and start configuring flap 20, and then the rest of the flaps on schedule. So that's that. 513 we were. So 2000 feet, that's the platform altitude. And then we've got 6 miles with the glide path of 2.8 to runway 30 left. So this is a little bit what I was explaining early on, because obviously at the moment there it's was still showing 35 degrees or something like that. I was talking about the hot temperature and the altimeter deviations and errors. So to kind of mitigate the hot temperature, the glide path is 2.8, and it would actually take you up to the 3-degree glide slope, which would or glide path, should I say, the 3-degree glide path that would match the PAPI. The PAPI is at 3 degrees, so I'm not really sure what's gonna happen in the simulator here, because we might see 3 reds, but I'm not sure how it's gonna work out the 2.8. Anyway, it's there, it's coded, it's correct. And then the missed approach, Delta Bravo 710, ECNOT, and then all that ECNOT, 210 knots, 3000 feet. So probably have to maintain at least flap 1 to keep 210 knots. You saw yesterday, if you were with me on the Dubai to Doha flight, and the go around works really nicely. Just take it very easy. Toga, go around, flap 20, positive climb, gear up, and then it follows air nav. The PMDG, of course, as I mentioned in the go around tutorial video, it would boost your level of altitude. So one way I kind of try to do is to go vertical speed when you're still maybe 1500 feet to the missed approach altitude, and then retract the flaps that way, and then we're all good. Anyway, I don't want to go around today. We did that yesterday, that was enough. Then we'll have a look at the VRF. So as I said, landing with maybe, I hope not to do the whole arrival, so I'll just keep 8.7, and the weight at the moment is 231.3. So 231.3 plus 8.7 is gonna be 240 tons. So it's a decent weight for landing, 240 tons. So we'll go to the init ref and approach ref page. We'll key in 240 knots, 240 tons, sorry, and then pick up 30 degrees of flaps, 146 knots. Set in the scratch pad and put it in the fourth key on the right, and then you've got your VRF there displayed at the bottom of the speed tape, ref 30/146. Then also we'll have a look at the RNAV plate. Actually, I'd set the ILS on the EFB, so let me check that and change that. Set the RNAV. Hold on still. I think it's 470. Yeah, 470 we'll set. Doesn't really matter. And go back to the map mode here. And the KNH was 996, I think. Cool. So we got VRF set, we've got minimums, we've got QNH preset. On the NavRad there, we'll have to add up on progress page 4, add up RNP of 0.3. Here on the second line, 0.3 for the approach, and you can see you've got RNP 0.3. So basically the RNP is the required navigation performance, and for the approach later on, not so much on the en route phase still, but for the RNAV approach later on, we need an accuracy of 0.3 of a mile. So if we don't get that accuracy, then we'll have to go around. We'll get an alert and we'll have to go around, unless we are visual with the airport, of course, so we can continue visually. At the moment the accuracy is 0.06 of a mile, so it's very good, and the simulator is not gonna mess about with that, so it's not an issue. Anyway, that is set, and the FMC is all set. Just double check the forecast descent page, flight level 150 transition is correct. The legs page, all the sequence is correct. And we've got the VRF, cool, the fixes as well. So once again for the MSA, looking at the chart, the MSA is based on the airport itself. So we put the airport ident in the fix page, or whatever defines the MSA. Sometimes it can be a VOR or it can be a NDB. In this case it's the airport itself, so we'll put the airport identifier there in the fix page, and then enter 25 miles like this. We'll get the MSA depicted on the navigation display later on. And that's about it, really. The last thing is the auto brake, so we'll go auto brake 2. Let's make it 3 actually. 3, and yeah, we're all done. All done. So we'll call multi-crew experience and do the descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Recall.
Checked.
Can't read checklist item NOTES.
Checked.
Auto brake.
Set. Set.
Now set. Now set. Landing data.
Set.
Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Muchas gracias, amigo. Sorry, wrong button. So yeah, so multi-crew experience is doing the checklist. Every time it kind of opens the checklist and goes back to the menu and chooses the the appropriate checklist. Whereas like during the flight on the aircraft in real, anytime you open the checklist, if you've done the checklist, which or hopefully you have, but the checklist would follow the sequence of the flight. So like at this stage, next time you open the checklist, it should come on the approach checklist, the checklist after the descent checklist. So yeah, that's the way it works. And the checklist wouldn't sequence to the next one until the checklist itself is complete. So now that the descent checklist is complete, obviously sequences to the approach checklist. But if the descent checklist was not complete, then it wouldn't sequence to the approach. If it makes sense. So, see, recommended 360 now. 1418 top of descent in 200 miles. So still 25 minutes to top of descent. So now is a good time. As we are getting close to the top of descent, I guess all the cabin crew would start getting the cabin ready for the approach and for the landing. It's a large aircraft, 300 plus people. So as I showed earlier on, 5 doors. It's a 73 meter long aircraft. So it takes a little bit of time to get the cabin organized and ready for landing. So yeah, you'll start tidying up a little bit and get everything ready for the landing. So hopefully a nice sunset on arrival. Looking outside, we're just crossing the coastline towards Oman. The sun is up here, so yeah, it looks promising for a nice view on landing. To bring the progress page. Excellent. That will do. It's a nice view to finish off the cruise, following the sun. So as this will be on YouTube as well, I can do the other way around and invite you to come and join me on Twitch if you've got the opportunity. But as I said earlier on, I'll just be on Twitch to do to record flights for the YouTube channel, but I won't be on Twitch just for the sake of being on Twitch anymore. So and also if you when you watch the YouTube channel, and if I'm live on Twitch, at the bottom left of the YouTube screen, you'll get a notification that I'm live on Twitch. So if you click on that, it will take you to the Twitch page, and then you can join me for some fun. The notification doesn't stay on for a long time, so you need to kind of click on it fairly quickly. But otherwise, it's all good. Yeah, so I'm live on Twitch. Start watching. So you click on that, and opens up the Twitch page, and you'll see this wonderful flying. I want to double check something, although the top of descent is not gonna change too much, because we still need to be 11,000 or below at Gurmi, so that's the kind of determining point. That's alright. Oops, sorry. Cool. Let's have a look outside. Amazing, we can see some of the mountains there. Let's have a look at the terrain display. Three, 4, okay. If we increase the range. Yeah, 7.2. So the highest mountain is 7,200 feet high on the side, and if we increase a little bit more again, 9,800 feet. So there's a little bit of terrain around. We can see on the terrain display there, it's nicely drawn. So if there's a depressurization, then we can't really go down to 10,000 feet, or you would have to assess exactly where you are. So initially we can go down to 12,000 feet and then take it from there.